brands, but if they're not targeted and they're not interested in your product or your service, they're not going to be interacting. But if you target people and you interact with people that are fanatics of what you're talking about, then you're going to have a lot more interaction. So that's more important. You should look at the activity and the interactions and increasing that more so than just increasing the numbers. We'll go to the next one. Okay, so you want to have a game plan. You don't want to just randomly go out there and put information without thinking about what you want to do. So the first thing to look at is which platforms do you really want to engage on. You don't have to be on all of them. You can focus your efforts on which ones are the best for you. So you know what, if Twitter's not working for you and Facebook is really where it's at, focus on that, but also look at other options. If you have a lot of interesting pictures to post or you have a lot of videos, there are great platforms that are just for photos and just for videos. And if you have anything interesting that you can do with checking into locations, people checking in at sporting events, you know, there's so many new platforms that have to do with that. So some off the top of my head for pictures are Flickr, Daily Booth, and for video, I mean, the main one is pretty much YouTube, but there's a lot of other good platforms. And for checking into locations, there's Foursquare and Gowalla and Facebook Places. But there's always going to be something new. Don't, you know, keep an eye on it, but don't feel like you have to be on every single platform. See what works the best for you, and then focus on that. But if you have like some great pictures that you personally take at games that you go to that you want to share, or you want to do a fun contest that has to do with submitting photos. So maybe there's some fans that paint their whole faces and their arms, and you want to see who's the biggest fanatic, and you want to have a fun contest, and you want people to submit their pictures, and then they win a free jersey of their team if they're the biggest fanatic. You can use Flickr, and you can have people tag that with the word fanatic to enter into the contest. So there's interesting ways to use the different platforms. Now, if you have someone other than yourself running your account, it's very important that you're clear with them who your target audience is and who your voice is, like who you're targeting. Because if you're posting something in a really fun tone and someone else is really serious, that's not going to be a unified voice for your brand. And you want to build brand loyalty, and you want people to get a certain feel for you. So if you have too many different people managing your accounts and they're not on the same page, and you don't have any sort of plan or strategy on what you want to post, it's going to be all over the place, and people are not going to relate well to the brand. So one thing you can do is create a calendar to plan your content. So if you decide Monday through Friday, these are the different strategies that I'm going to work with, you can plan ahead and decide. It usually does go around what kind of content you're going to post. And normally just maybe schedule that a week in advance. And every week you have an idea that you know on Monday that you're going to post a specific team, or maybe even highlight an MVP player. And you know that's going to go up, but you have a good plan. So if someone else has to take it over for you or run it, they can do it in the same way that you're doing it. Okay, and then weekly theme posts that I've been talking about. This is an example. On Friday, we just post something fun for Sticker Giant. And for a while, he told me, I want to do Polka Dot Friday, which was completely random, but it's just, that's how his brand is. He has a lot of fun, and he likes to show people his personality, and he likes to show pictures of himself, pictures of people in his office and what they're up to. So we started doing Polka Dot Friday, and we said everyone's wearing polka dots. We got lunch catered, and we have a polka dot cake to celebrate. Kind of random, but it got a lot of attention for us, and we started using the hashtag Polka Dot Friday, and we were posting pictures up of the office on Friday. But I mean, don't be afraid to have fun with it, And usually when you do something that's a little outside of the box, it gets more attention and it gets more people talking. Okay, I mentioned doing shout-outs, and I mentioned how it got such a positive response. So what Sticker Giant actually does is their theme doesn't change too much, but his main tagline is every sticker has a story. So we go in and we share stories and we share interesting stickers, or when we find the biggest brand name that we do a sticker for, we obviously want to leverage that and tell people about it. So we post about them and we kind of praise our clients, tell a little bit about our clients, and also share their sticker story. Another thing that you can send a shout out to, besides maybe some of the clients or some of the football accounts or some of the players, you can also send a shout out to any partners you might have. So if there's someone you might have on your blog roll that you think has a good blog and you guys kind of feed off of each other, you can mention them. You can mention someone in the community. In this case, since you work well with Wade and Football Fanatics, if you wanted to give them a shout out and show why their program is great or why you like working with them, that's another good thing you can do. And then if you have employees, if you feel that you want to make your company a little more personalized, since we are online, a lot of people feel like there's no real person behind it. But if you want to show that, you can either highlight maybe one of your employees that's really passionate about football, or you can actually highlight yourself and talk about why you got into football, what you love about it, and make people feel a little more connected to you. Some campaign that did a really good job was Old Spice, and they had the Old Spice man, and he was posting not only giving shout-outs, but he was posting personalized videos and thanking everyone that he possibly could that were mentioning him.
And that was one of the most fun social media campaigns that I've ever seen rolled out, because they actually targeted a bunch of thought leaders, people that they wanted to have talking about them, and rolled out custom videos that they made with their spokesman, who's a former Seattle Seahawk, by the way. I think it was for like 3 weeks or something. But and that was devastatingly effective, because then all of a sudden you've got, somebody that might have, 50,000 followers is like, oh my God, I just got this from Old Spice. Check it out. And so at that point you've got, some ridiculous viral action going on. And this is something you can have a lot of fun with as well. One of the most fun things I've ever seen somebody do, Jim Kukral, who will be on in a couple of weeks talking about getting attention, which is a really awesome connection to social media. He's a long-suffering Cleveland Browns fan. First day of the year, he did a video of himself. Starts off, he's all fired up. He's like, yeah, it's the Browns. They're going to have a great year this year. It's all going to change. It's going to be better. And he's like, and then it, kind of, fades off. And then another scene comes up, and he's got a bottle of Jack Daniels that's open next to him. And he's like, 5 minutes of the game, 14 points down, same old crap. And then it fades off, and it comes back again, and he's like, the bottle's almost gone. He's like half in the bag. He's like, the hell with it. And so he ended up getting a bunch of his friends, just because he put something funny together, to go ahead and say, hey, check out what Jim did. And, the guy's really good at getting attention and really good at leveraging the social media tools to do it, because, once one of us shares it, if I've got 1,200 friends following me on Twitter and I share this video saying, hey, check this out, a certain number of them are going to check it out, and they're going to like it, they're going to pass it on, and off you go.
Yeah, it tends to spread virally, especially if it's something entertaining like these videos were. And if you're not shy, grab a flip cam and post a video of yourself that's 1 to 2 minutes long. It doesn't have to be super professional. It just has to have the right information or something fun. And it's very easy just to upload on YouTube and then to share around Twitter.
Okay, got a question here from, I think that one's from Steve Stackman. Following back and auto-following. kind of best practices on following people back. I'm not an auto follow fan myself.
Yeah, neither am I. I'm not a fan of automating anything because it's not going to filter what the best thing for you is. I do have a slide coming up on follow Friday and follow back. So if we go, it might actually be the next slide. Yes. Okay, perfect. So how I feel about follow Friday and follow back. I love to do follow Fridays, and I love not only to do them, but to do themed follow Fridays. So instead of just throwing out a random follow Friday with some of your friends that have nothing in common, you actually want to try to use follow Friday to connect different people, and that gets you some good retweets and good recognition as well. So in this follow Friday, it's like a Pittsburgh edition where he sponsored some event in Pittsburgh, and we were having interactions with people that were there and mentioned a handful of those people. I like to focus on doing really good themed follow Fridays of people that I would like to interact with more, and they usually are pretty happy to be featured in the follow Friday. And then I make sure to follow all the people mentioned in the follow Friday. You don't have to do just one. You can do several follow Fridays, different themes, and basically I take that time every Friday to focus on who I really want to connect with and who I want to follow. And how I do that is I look at what happened that week, and during that week, who did I interact with? Who was the biggest advocate for me? Or who did I notice that I want to interact with, that I want to reach out to? And I use follow Friday as a perfect time to do that. Send good follow Fridays, start following all those follow Friday people, and then you can also take time at the end of the week and see who's following you that's new, and look through the list and then decide on who you're going to follow back. You don't have to do it every single day, but plan a time, and I think every Friday may be a good time, but you can do it whenever you want, on the weekend, starting on Monday. You can do it once a month. But if you take a little time and you see, oh, look, these are the new people that followed me this week, these people interest me, you can briefly see their bio or their recent tweets, and if you think that they're a good connection for you, follow them back. If you think their tweets are something you don't want to deal with and it's too much information or it doesn't match what you're doing and you don't want to connect with them, then don't follow them back. But use follow Friday as a good way to follow the right people and to reach out to some of the people that have not yet started following you. You can still mention them without them following you. I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, and the key to it for me is that, as long as you keep a manual touch to it, to where you're going out there and always thinking about your brand. And when you're following people back, you need to think about, do these guys, does being connected to this guy reflect well on my brand and on me? And if the answer is yes, then yeah, it's probably a good idea to go ahead and follow them back. If the messages that they're putting out don't work with your brand, don't work with your ethics, don't work with your personality, then don't follow them back. I mean, you can't stop somebody from following you, I mean, on Twitter anyway, but, you certainly have the ability to kind of cast a vote with who you decide to kind of validate with your votes back. And the Follow Friday thing could be really big, and this could be really fun in the sports space, because when you could do, a Follow Friday, Pittsburgh Steelers edition, and then, give a shout out to your favorite people who tweet on the Steelers. And I think you'd be pretty happy with what's going to come back to you.